Hey, what's going on everybody? It's Joseph from Screenbite and welcome to my video review of the Ninox Venator. Now when it comes to reviewing a mouse, I have 5 main criteria: build quality, design, weight, shape, and performance. How does this one stack up? Let's find out. Now, Ninox is a brand you might not have heard of before, and that's because it's from a relatively new company that's fresh on the scene. And if I'm not mistaken, it might actually still be run by only one guy. But I'm telling you, after the Venator, that all might change because this mouse is incredible. I had a ton of fun with this thing, and I'm so happy that I got the opportunity to have it on my desk to mess around with. Let's get into that shape. It is an ambidextrous design, so it can be used by both left-hand, right-handed users. However, it's intended for right-hand use because the buttons are only on the left-hand side. You can definitely see that there's a lot of lance head in this mouse, believe it or not, and that's actually something that I really love because if you remember, one of the things that I didn't like about the lance head was these flares. They're just crazy pronounced, but pretty much everything else I loved about it, except for maybe the weight. This thing is ridiculously heavy. But as you can see, it's almost the exact same shape, but the flares on the bottom are just not as pronounced, which makes it for a very, very comfortable experience when using this mouse. Now, one of the major complaints about the white version of this mouse, which came first, was that there was a lot of quality control issues with like the shell. There was a lot of creaks. I'm glad to see that those are pretty much all gone now. It's very sturdy. There's no creaks and croons in the plastic unless you're like really pushing on the back here. I don't know if you can hear that, but right here there's just a little bit of creaks. But the quality of this mouse has definitely gone way up with the black version here, without a doubt. Unfortunately, my copy developed actually a little bit of a rattle because it wasn't there when I first got it, but let's see if you can hear it. And that is actually, I believe, the lens unit, because if you hold down all the buttons, the rattle's still there. So I'm not quite sure if that's for all units. I would guess that it's not because, like I said, mine didn't have it when I got it. But for a very small company, this is definitely really good build quality, and I wouldn't be afraid of this breaking on me anytime soon. And here's a quick listen to the clicks. Now the materials are all plastic, but it doesn't feel like super cheap plastic, which is nice, except for maybe the sides. I'm not a huge fan because it has this strange texture, which feels a little bit weird when you're holding it, as well as it picks up all kinds of dirt and grime in those little crevices there. On top of the mouse, you'll find that profile switch button, which allows you to switch between 3 fully customizable profiles. I actually made a video on that, so feel free to check that out if you have the free time. As for the scroll wheel, it's actually pretty nice. It's not too clunky as well as it's not too smooth, so it's right in the middle. On the bottom of the mouse, you'll find 2 nicely sized Teflon feet. I always prefer bigger feet over smaller feet because it always feels like it glides better. As well as you'll have that beautiful 3360 sensor. You already know how much I love this sensor. Watch some of the older videos. This thing is a performer and it should be in every mouse. The hump is to the rear, which means that this mouse is suitable for all grip styles, and my hands are 19.5 centimeters by 10 centimeters for reference. On the weight side of things, this might actually be the lightest mouse I've ever used at 80 grams, and that's why I'm so okay with the materials that were used here, because when I say I can flick, I mean I can flick. Let's check out the performance. Now performance-wise, this mouse performs just as well as any other mouse with a 3360. However, when you combine that performance with the weight of this mouse and the overall shape, you get something truly remarkable. I can't describe to you how incredible it felt to just zip this thing across my desk. Some of the flicks that I was doing and just some of the overall just accuracy and headshots that I were getting were things that I normally wouldn't get in a game, and I would entirely attribute that to the way that this mouse feels in my hand. And if you're looking for a mouse strictly for performance reasons alone, and you can get behind the shape, I would highly recommend checking this one out. Finally, what about price? Is it gonna break the bank? Well, no. It's 50 bucks, and I feel like that's actually pretty reasonable for the type of product that you're getting here. There's a lot of quality and craftsmanship that went into this mouse, and I really like it for that. Speaking of what I really like, final thoughts. There is a lot to like about this mouse, and I actually ended up liking it a lot more than I thought I initially was going to, especially from a no-name company that I've never heard of before. Other than a few gripes, like the rattle that appeared out of nowhere, which honestly could just be the defective unit. I could just ship it back and get another one if it's even worth that much to me. And maybe the overall size, maybe it's just a little too small for me, but that's not a gripe to the mouse, that's just my hand size. I really enjoyed it. It's very light and it's super easy to hit those flick shots, and I just love it for that. And I'm definitely gonna hold it onto my desk, keep it on my desk for a little while longer. If you're looking for a new mouse and you have $50, I would honestly definitely recommend checking this one out. It could be the next mouse for you. But that's gonna go ahead and do it for this video, guys, so thank you once again for watching. As always, if you liked it, make sure to show it by hitting that like button down below. It really helps me out. As well as if you have any questions about the mouse or any questions at all, feel free to ask it in the comment section down below as well. You can also ask me any questions at my Twitter at Screenbite. But also, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, feel free to subscribe. But until next time, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.